I am back. What it do, baby?
Welcome to G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button as you come on in. Big shout out to all the sponsors of the channel. All the information is in the description box. And follow your boy on Instagram and Twitter at BoxingFirst Jeff TV. Now, Julian Jroc Williams, Jason Rosario, 154-pound championship of the world. That fight is going down. Temple University, Liacouras Center, in my hometown of Philly this Saturday, January 18th, 2020. Now, there's a lot of heavy hitters on this card. There's a lot of great fights on this card, but I think the one fight that's being overlooked that could go down as one of the fights of the night is Paul Kroll versus Marcel Rivers. Now, both of these guys is from the city. They both from Philly. And this fight shows how things can change for a fighter in a short amount of time. Let me explain that. Paul Kroll, 6-0. He already has a significant victory on his resume against Shinard Bunch. Usually, promoters and matchmakers, they won't match two guys like a Paul Kroll and a Shinard Bunch really early in their career, but for some reason they did it. It was a good fight, but I did think Paul Kroll won that fight 4-2. And that's a good victory for Paul Kroll this early in his career. Now, Paul Kroll, aggressive fighter. I think he needs to add an uppercut to his game. I think it'll take his game to the next level. But the thing I like about Paul Kroll is that he lets his hands go, but then he closes the gap very quickly. And he does it from different angles. So that's going to get him very far in the future. And Paul Kroll is hard to deal with. He's hard to deal with. He's one of those guys that you're going to have to put on your hard hat and you're going to have to go in and not only fight him, but you're going to have to be strategic as well to get past Paul Kroll. Paul Kroll's a good fighter. Now, Marcel Rivers, this is why I said boxing can change for a fighter in such a short amount of time. It wasn't that long ago Marcel Rivers was 7-0. He was the undefeated fighter. He was the guy that they was going to try to put on your TV screen in the future. But Marcel Rivers is coming off of back-to-back losses. And to be honest with you, they were bad losses. His last fight against Sidney McCall, that was on the Russell Peltz 50th anniversary card. And the thing that's crazy about that fight is that Marcel Rivers got a knockdown early in that fight, and then he ended up getting knocked down in the last round. And to be honest with you, listening to that fight, when you listen to the announcers, they were given a perception that Marcel Rivers was winning the fight comfortably, and I just disagreed with him. I disagreed with him completely. Marcel Rivers, what he was doing in that fight was no different than what McCall was doing in that fight. Neither one of them was doing anything until Marcel Rivers got the knockdown, and that was over the first 2-3 rounds. So when neither guy is doing anything, you're leaving it up to the judge to basically pick out something small and give a guy a round. And that's what happened in that fight. But Marcel Rivers, he ran out of gas in that fight, and he ended up losing to McCall. Now, Sidney McCall was only 6-8 at that particular time, and then the fight before that, Marcel Rivers took a second round loss against Vinci Dixon, and Vinci Dixon was 7-23-2. So when I say those are the epitome of bad losses, those are the epitome of bad losses. Marcel Rivers wasn't expecting to lose those fights, and neither was his promoter, and neither was the matchmaker. You could just tell by the records. But sometimes that's just how boxing goes. Now, with this fight between Paul Kroll and Marcel Rivers, it's real simple. Paul Kroll needs to push the pace. He needs to test Marcel Rivers' conditioning, and he just needs to let his hands go. Essentially, Paul Kroll just needs to go in and do what Paul Kroll usually does. Now, in terms of Marcel Rivers, he's going to have to put something on Paul Kroll to get his respect. That's number one. He's going to have to control distance. That's number two. And he's going to have to be extremely accurate with the counter shots because they're going to be available for him. He just has to land them. And he needs to be in tip-top shape for this fight. If Marcel Rivers is not tip-top shape for this fight, he's going to have a lot of problems with Paul Kroll. But this is a great style matchup for both guys. Two Philly guys, big amount of respect for both of them. And we're going to see what happens. This could be a fight of the night candidate for sure. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Please share this video. Support your boy. Support good content at all times. I appreciate y'all. Peace.